Welcome back to the Cygnet Sudoku book. This is a compilation of puzzles put together by Full Deck and Missing a Few Cards. It is from their Sudoku class that they taught, and this is one of the puzzles made by their students. It is a puzzle that they told me took them over 2 hours working together to solve. So this puzzle is no joke. I'm quite excited for this because I'm gonna make this the finale, right? Hopefully I can actually get through the puzzle here in this stream. And what's really exciting about it is I've been told by Full Deck and Missing a Few Cards that Sudoku or Cygnet Sudoku Volume 2 will be coming out tomorrow from when I am streaming this. So whenever this posts to the channel, I will already have started doing recordings of the second volume of the Cygnet Sudoku book. So please check out the link down below to go to their website. And of course, let's look at this puzzle. So this is the final puzzle, puzzle number 65 of the book, and it is called 123 by Chaos. So it's very minimal. We have a single 3, a single 2, and a single 1. You might think it's not possible to solve a puzzle with this few digits, and that would be true if we weren't doing a variant Sudoku. In this case, though, we have some rules that'll help us through this. So we have our normal Sudoku rules. We'll have non-consecutive rules, anti-knight rules, and anti-king rules. Just these 3 rules here, I guess 4 if you include normal Sudoku rules, turns this puzzle into something that is solvable. So currently there are, I think, 57 solves on this puzzle, 1, 2, 3, and today I'm hoping to make that 58, from 57 to 58. So let's transition over, and you'll see my face this time. So again, I decided for the finale that I would actually do this on camera. So let's just look at the puzzle. 1, 2, 3 by Chaos. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Every row, column, and box must contain a complete set of the digits 1 to 9. So we'll go through that one by one. Every row, every column, every box will contain the digits 1 to 9 exactly each. So once each. So this can't contain another 1 because it's already in the column. This can't contain another 1 because it's in the row. And none of these can contain another 1 because they are in the same box. Then we have our anti-knight rules. So cells connected by a chess knight's move cannot contain the same digit. If this one were a knight as in chess, it would be able to move in 2 cells in one direction and 1 cell in the perpendicular direction. And if you do all the possible combinations of 2 in one direction and 1 in the other direction, you get these 8 cells here. These are all the moves that this one could move to if it were a knight as in chess. So even though we just looked row, column, and box, tells us none of these can be a 1, none of these can be a 1 by our anti-knight rules. Then, for our anti-king rules, anti-king cells connected by a chess king's move cannot contain the same digit. So a king in chess can move to any of the orthogonally connected cells or diagonally connected cells. So all of these cells are what a king can move to. Again, row, column, and box tells us none of these can be a 1, but additionally with the king's rule, this can't be a 1, this can't be a 1, and this can't be a 1. And if you combine that with our anti-knight rules, you can see why this puzzle is gonna be solvable here, because there are just so many possible digits options that are taken away from this one here, and the same with 2, 3, and all the other digits. Then non-consecutive, orthogonally adjacent cells must not contain consecutive numbers. So all of these are orthogonally adjacent cells. they cannot contain a consecutive number. So what is consecutive? Consecutive means it has a difference of 1 with the number. So if we go 1 above or 1 below the number, those cannot exist here. So 2 can't exist in any of these cells, and 0 can't exist in any of these cells. A little less valuable for 1, but for 2, for example, 1 and 3 can't go in any of these cells around the 2 because they are orthogonally connected. So if this was 1, it would break. That's it for the rules. Um, yeah, we'll see how this goes. So let's just jump right into it. So trying to think about where to start. I think in this puzzle, it'll be very helpful to have lots of pencil marking everywhere. So I guess pretty simply, let's just start with pencil marking our options for 1, or I guess the things where all the places we can't put 1. So we'll do our row, column, and box. We'll do our anti-king move, and we'll do our anti-knight moves. So everywhere outside of this field currently can contain, excuse me, can contain a 1. But additionally, around the 2, these can't contain a 1 because of our consecutive rule. So, all right, let's just uh, let's just start pencil marking some options here. 1 here. I don't know if I want to do the whole entire grid, but honestly, maybe it's going to be helpful. Maybe it's just going to be helpful. So any of the cells that are white, I will pencil mark a 1 and 2. Now, let's look at 2s. So 2s, looks, all these ones look a little less helpful once I actually do the, my goodness, I remove all the color coding, but I guess we will see. So 2 can't go here. It can't go next to the 1. Can't go next to the 3. And I think that's about it. So let me color code that. And then these will be our options for 2, where I'm seeing some similar patterns to the 1, but not exactly what we saw with the 1 because the 3 additionally helps us here. So 2 goes in these cells. What a mess. And then finally, whoops, let's make sure we're removing our color coding, not our pencil marks. And finally, 3, anti-knight, anti-king, can't be consecutive to 2, and that's it. So now all of these are our possible 3s. I have no clue what I'm supposed to do with any of this, but we'll find out. We'll find out. So we had a similar puzzle to this one earlier in the pack. If I remember correctly, it was called Oddball. It was a quite funky one, and I think it was anti-knight and anti-king. It didn't have this non-consecutive rule set, and it took me a bit of time to kind of wrap my head around what I was actually trying to get out of the puzzle. So either place where I place 1 will no. The 2s. So, okay. Here's something that I wasn't thinking about. These 2 pencil markings are interesting because 2 here, 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 actually eliminate 3 as options here. Because whether 2 is here or here, they will always see these 2 cells, and you can't have that consecutive set there. So it removes some options. If 2 was here, then 3 would be somewhere. I guess it could be here, actually, anywhere. But that's probably the thing we have to look for. Like 2 in any of the... Oh, no, but that's not true, is it, actually? Because it's just orthogonally connected. So if 2 is here, this is allowed to be 3. So that's actually not that helpful. If 1 goes here, 1 goes here. Maybe that's just what I have to think about. I have to think about if I place 1 in like this cell, what does that actually do to the rest of the puzzle? If I place 1 in this cell, what does that actually do? And actually 2 is probably going to be more helpful to look at because 2 will eliminate 1 and 3 next to it, whereas 3 will only ever eliminate 2 because we don't have any 4s to work with, and 1 will only ever eliminate 2 itself. So 2 can eliminate 1 and 3 as options as we start to place it. So if 2 went here and 2 went here, does that do something to the grid, right? Like if this is our 2, none of these could be 3. This couldn't be 3. But you see, it looks fine for me right now. Maybe I have to take it farther, right? So now 2 gets eliminated from all of these cells, right? Which would mean 2 goes here. And if 2 goes here, then it eliminates... Actually, wait a second. 2 can't go here, can't go here, can't go here. Oh, that's fine. 2 would then go here. And then 2 would go in one of these 2 cells. Oh, but 2 can only go here, which means 2 would go here. Oh, which actually means 2 has nowhere to go in this box. See, that seems like a lot of steps to get there, right? So for these hard puzzles, we're not really supposed to be looking more than like 5 steps ahead. And at this point, saying 2 goes here doesn't mean anything, right? Just like saying 2 goes here doesn't really mean anything either. Like 2 in this cell here, for example, what does it actually do, right? Like what is it doing on by itself, essentially? It's pushing 2 here. This 2, but this 2 doesn't do anything until you loop in the fact that this needs to be 2 now. So is that valid? Like I just technically I just showed that this can't be 2, but I feel like there has to be a better way to do that. Maybe I'll regret this, but maybe I just knock out all the pencil marking and or even better, I have all the pencil marking here that's selected and I just remove the 1 and 3s from the pencil marking. So let me just analyze 2s. I can always undo. Can always undo, but in this case, let's keep it here. All right? So let me just look at 2s. So 2 here, because of our Anti-knight and anti-king immediately just knocks out all of these possibilities. All of those possibilities. Because at this point, in this box, 2 either goes here or here. 2 here does a lot of stuff, but all of that stuff ends up breaking the Sudoku in the end. If I sit here for another like 10 minutes trying to figure that out, and I don't see a better path forward, then I might just work with it. But I do want to try to do something a little bit more, like I said, a little more intelligent with the work here. So like this, for example, could this ever be 2? So that's something, right? Could this ever be 2? No, it couldn't because 2 here, see, that's what I need to do. All right, this is the smarter way to do it. If 2 went here, then it would see this by Sudoku, this by Sudoku, and this by Knight's move. So there would be no place to put 2. So this can't be 2. Can this be 2? Once again, Sudoku, Knight's move, and this time King's move. So this cannot be 2. Same thing. Can this be 2? No, because Sudoku, or sorry, Sudoku and King's move. Can this be 2? No, Knight's move and Sudoku. Can this be 2? No. Um, um, sorry, Sudoku and Knight's move. So that doesn't work. Then could this be 2? No, because it knocks out all of these as a possibility. So none of those can be 2. This is 2, just places 2. I guess maybe we once again think about where like 3 goes now. So 3, and even 1 in this box, right? Because if we think about where 1 goes in this box, it's a bit limited. But 3 seems a little bit like it'll be a little more limited because Sudoku, King's move, Knight's move. 3 in one of these cells here. 3 here would immediately place 3. Hmm. Oh, but no. One can only go in one of these 2 spaces, and 3 has a bunch of options. So, hmm. This is interesting. 2 here. No, not quite. I was going to say 2 here does like a little X-Wing thing here, right? Just basic Sudoku. It does like an X-Wing type thing. So 2 would have to end up in one of these 2 cells, but by Knight's move would end up here, 2. but then these eliminate literally the exact same cells, so it doesn't actually help. Yeah, and 2 here would just eliminate all of these as an option, but this is left here, which we know eventually down the line breaks, but doesn't really doesn't really do it. Like in my mind, just this just breaks, right? 2 just breaks going here. But I still don't like I still don't like that. I feel like that's not the intended path. And maybe it is and I'm just being a little silly about it. Interesting. So if 2, for example, went down here, somewhere down here, like it just didn't go there, then this kind of pattern here is very interesting because 2 here, I don't know, but 2 could go there. Hmm. Yeah, we'd be fine. Because I was thinking like 2 here, for example, completely eliminates all options here. 2 here eliminates all options. 2 here eliminates all options. But just because these can't be 2s doesn't mean we can't figure something out with this, right? This being 2 would make this 2, and this being 2 would make that 2. So I guess this could never be 2 because it sees both of these cells. But then, again, you just get a little like X-wing type thing going up the board, and then these couldn't be 2, and these couldn't be 2, but this doesn't do anything. Hmm. And no options. All right. Not quite at 10 minutes here from when I said that, but I think what I want to do is I want to say that this cannot be 2, so this has to be 2. If this is 2, then this is 2. And I don't think that actually does all the work for us, but it definitely helps a bit here. So like none of these can be 2. This can't be 2. 2 can't go here. 2 can't go here. And I'm not necessarily disappointed with that because it doesn't just give us the entire grid. Or maybe it does actually because hmm, now we get the X-wing, which makes this 2. This being 2, oh no, doesn't quite. But by Knight's move, neither of these can be 2. Which does give us 2 in one of these 2 cells. 2 in these 2 cells by Knight's move. So, okay, sorry. Let's go back. Why did I say that 2 cells like this tell us that these 2 cells can't be 2? I didn't really talk about anti-knight much, but anti-knight has a really interesting property in that when you have a pattern like this, the matching pair, like one step away, cannot contain that digit. The simple reason is if we place a 2 here, it sees this cell by Sudoku and this cell by Knight's move. And if we place the 2 here, it sees this cell by Knight's move and this cell by Sudoku. So no matter what, it pulls 2 out of here, which means the 2 here gives us 2 here. 2 gives us 2 here. And then we are left with this thing going on, which is fine. One thing I guess we'll probably see in this Sudoku is roping, because again, if I remember correctly, Oddball, which was the anti-knight, anti-king Sudoku, had like roping everywhere, but I'm not gonna use previous puzzles to make assumptions about this puzzle. But it looks very promising to be a roping Sudoku here. But now that I have 2s in a bunch of places, theoretically now 1s and 3s should maybe open up a bit. Because now if we go back and do some 1 pencil marking, let's look at the options here. Row, column, box, go anti-king, anti-knight, but also, obviously the 2s. And let's go next to all of the 2s. So none of these can contain a 1 because then they would break the non-consecutive rule. And let me just make sure I didn't miss anything else. I guess theoretically, this is actually an interesting one that I wasn't thinking about. 1 couldn't go here because then it would break the 2. So 1 would have to go here with a gap with 2 here, or 1 would have to go here with a gap with 2 here. And actually, now 1 can't go in either of these 2 cells because if 1 went here, this would be 2, and if 1 went here, this would be 2. So neither of these can be 1. It's a kind of funky thing there. Make sure I didn't miss any other possible restrictions. I think that's it. So now, what I'll do is I'll go through just as before, and I will now pencil mark our 1s, given that we have more information. So all of these will be the possible 1s. Let me remove the blue color coding, or maybe, I don't know if it makes it easier for me to visualize the 1s with the blue color coding or without. I'll leave it for now. If it becomes a problem, I will remove it. So now, once again, I think we had this very similar pattern here with 2s. If 1 goes here, then... Oh, but 1 here is kind of a weird one. I guess, sorry, we should do it from this direction. If this was 1, none of these would work. So this can't be 1. If this is 1, then none of these could work, so this is not 1. So 1 definitely goes like this, which tells us 1 goes like this, which tells us 1 goes like this. If 1 went here, then neither of these could be 1 by our king and Sudoku. So this is 1, which means that this is 1, which means that this is 1, which is really, it's really given me hope for the roping. This is 1, which means, hmm. If 1 went here, 1 would go here, which would make 2 go here. 1 would go here, 1 would go here. 2 here would make 2 go here. And with 1 down here and 2 here, I think we're fine. So, trying to make sure I didn't miss anything before I kind of move on from ones. All right, so we'll remove the blue color coding. And what we'll do now is we will look at threes. Because 3 cannot go next to any of the 2s. So again, row, column, box, anti-king, anti-knight. Anti-king, anti-knight. Then, obviously it can't be any of the 1s. But with the 2s, it's special. It can't go next to the 2, just like it can't be the 2. So it can't be here, can't be here, can't be here, can't be here, can't be here. Additionally, if 3 went here, this would be 2, so this can't be 3. And I think that's fine. So we will color code that blue. We will pencil mark our 3 possibilities. And we will look for restrictions again. So, and because of the 1 here now, look at this 3. So, or I guess it didn't matter because 3 here. It was more about the 2. So 3 in these cells here are quite interesting because this couldn't be 3 because it would see all these cells. Okay, 1 second. That's only one reduction. So I'll color code it, but it's not actually what we were hoping for. Three here would break all of these, right? Sudoku, king, knight. So this can't be 3. This is too far away from there. 3 here would break. 3 here would break. So 3 goes somewhere there, which means this can't be 3. Now this breaks the 3 here, which means that this is 3, which means that this is 3, which means that this is 3, which means that this is 3. This can't be 3. This can't be 3. Sorry, this can't be 3. There we go. This can't be 3. These twos is 3. This can't be 3 then. I guess, oh, wait. We knew that by Sudoku. Oh, but king, sorry. King's move gives us 3 there, which gives us 3 there. Hmm. I'm just trying to see if I can do any more restrictions with 1s or 2s or 3s. Maybe we just remove the color coding. 1s. So still doesn't do anything. Oh, wait. 3, sorry, it does. My goodness, how did I miss that? 3, 1 here gives us 1 here. 1 here tells us this can't be 2, which means this is 2. 3, 2, 2 here. Ah, that's it. Those are the only two places 2 are missing. But 1, oh my goodness, 1 here. 1 here gives us 1 here. Completely missed that. 2's X-Wing, 3's X-Wing. All right. And if there's no consecutive constraint right now, like 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, not immediately seeing any problems with that. We might be actually limited. We might not be able to resolve our 1's, 2's, and 3's. I started thinking about 4's all of a sudden. Like 4. Where could 4 go? Like 4 would have to go in one of these cells. Actually, I guess specifically these two cells. So what does that do for us? Oh, it eliminates 4. All right, well, I guess 3 eliminates 4 from there anyways. So we get like 4 here, and then 4 in one of these cells. Just these X-Wings feel unresolvable right now. All right. What we'll do is we will, sorry, fixing my mouse here. We will start looking at 4's. So if we just select our 3's right now, we'll color code those. Anything next to these 3's, anywhere around them, cannot be 4's. But also what we remember is that the X-Wing thing, right, a pair, it's not even an X-Wing, it's just a pair. If 4 went here, this would be 3. If 4 went here, this would be 3. Tells us that neither of these can be 4 and neither of these can be 4. So now if we do our full color coding and then 1's and 2's, 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, and you know what we'll do a naive pencil marking. I think that's what I like to call it. Naive pencil marking, where we won't think about, you know, the options here. And then what we'll do is we'll keep the color coding as is, and we'll say, okay, 4 here tells us that this could never be 4. 4 here tells us that this could never be 4. If 4 went here, then it would break this and this by king's and knight's move, so this can't be 4. Now 4 like this is that anti, oh, and also I guess this says that neither of these, like here is Sudoku and king's move. Here it's double knight's move. So neither of these can be 4. That tells us that this can't be 4, which tells us that this can't be 4, which makes this 4. Look at that. Because either of these being 4, king and knight's move just eliminates that option. So now 4 can't go here. I guess that's what I was gonna do by knight's move here when I got distracted by this. This is an X-wing of 4's, which actually tells us that this is 4, which makes this 4, which makes this 4, which makes this 4. So we'll move 4's. Oh, not all the 4's. Sorry, I should just... This can't be 4. Oh, 4 by king's or knight's move goes there, which places 4 here. 4 here. And then that makes this 4, this 4. And actually, did we finish all our 4's? We finished all our 4's. So our 4's and our 4's can give us our 3's. Look at that. 3, 3 like this. We are done with 3's. Though somehow that still doesn't give us our 2's, but I expect we'll be able to use our 4s to place our 5s. Our 5s will eliminate options for 2s and 1s down the line, and then we'll be set. Because yeah, theoretically, 2 here would actually just do it for us right away. So we will see. But now let's go through. We'll remove our color coding once again. We will select all of our 4s. We will color code our 4s, and we will go through one by one and eliminate all the possible options for 5s. Oh, and look, right away we just we just get placement. Yeah, all right. And 5 will end up somewhere here, so that might play into it as well. All right, we'll select 3s. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. I accidentally unselected. I got a little too excited about seeing the placement there. So this puzzle, all right, well, to be fair, I don't know if what I did here with this 2 was kind of, I don't know, I don't want to call it cheating, but was not really the best way to go about that. So I kind of took a shortcut there, but if you were willing to take that shortcut, then the puzzle actually isn't, well, I say it's not too bad. It seems like it's not going to be too bad from here because I think from here it's just kind of, you know, the rest of the of the numbers. So we'll do it with 4 to 5, and then as we start to reduce options, like 5 immediately gives us 1 here, which gives us 1 here, which gives us 2 here, which gives us 2 here. So actually we don't even need to care about that anymore. And 5, right, blue says neither of these can be 5, and as we go through, we'll keep reducing our options. So we don't quite have any way to prove roping yet. It's very roping. It looks very roping, but we can't quite say that yet. 5 somewhere here gives us 5 here. 5 here gives us 5 somewhere here, but oh, sorry, even better. 5 here gives us 5 here, which gives us 5 here. Then let's eliminate some options. This is 5. This is 5. 5 by Sudoku, 5 here, 5 here. And is that all of our 5s? It's all of our 5s. So, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So now 5s, and then we'll select the 5s. Probably tired of this at this point, but if you were struggling through this one, then I guess now you kind of know which way to approach this. Yeah, I see 6 will go here. All right. And actually, even better, 6 there just ropes the set. But we will keep doing what we're doing, and then theoretically we'll be able to kind of finish this out here. So this will be 6, 6, and 6. So we now have our full set of roping. Um, 6, sorry, got a little distracted there. This is 6. 6 here does what? It gives us 6 here, which gives us 6 here, which we get 6 here, and we get 6 here, and we get 6 here. So 5, 1, 6. I should have also noticed that. Come on, seven's gotta give. 6, that is all of our 6s. Oh, and we get the nice kind of like diamond pattern type thing that I've seen a few times in different roping puzzles actually. 6, around here, here. Okay, that's where the 7 goes. 6, 6, here, 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 and we'll select. Oh, I did it again. Gosh darn it. I done did it again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Color coded there. And now this is 7, this is 7, this is 7, this is 7. This is 7, this is 7, this is 7. This is 7, and this is 7. All right. And it's just the 8s and 9s. So we need a 7 next to something open. Here we go. 7, 8. So that means that this is 8, which means 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 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. And finally, we can place our 9s, and we are done in 40 minutes and 19 seconds with 1, 2, 3 by chaos. I don't know if I should be satisfied or unsatisfied with that. I'll reach out to Full Deck and Missing a Few Cards and see, I guess, what I've missed here on this final puzzle. Probably a better way to remove 2 here as an option. I expect they didn't take the path I did, where I said that if this is 2, everything breaks, so it can't be 2. There's probably something better to look at there, but it's okay. It's okay. I have to be I have to be all right with it. Maybe after I cut the stream here, I'll take a look into it. If you went and you solved it for yourself, I would like to hear how you did it. But yeah, this was the final puzzle. This was the finale of the Cygnet Sudoku book. And we have, like I said, Volume 2 coming up. So very exciting. And yeah, I don't know what else to say here. So I will say, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.